Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about my incredibly amazing parents. So let me tell you about my amazing parents. Now I know that I'm not the only person that has amazing parents in the world. There are arguably billions of amazing parents in the world, but I want to tell you about my two awesome parents. And I'm just going to sort of tell you about them, and this is like a thank you to them as well. And I'm going to try and not get emotional. I'm going to do my best, but I know it doesn't seem like it because I scream in my videos and I'm super energetic and powerful in my videos, but I am like an unbelievably emotional person. I cry all the time, constantly. Like literally on my kid's first day of school, I'm the parent that's in the line just bawling and stuff like that. It's just how I am, you know. My son scored his first goal in hockey the other day, and I was cheering, and as I'm cheering, the tears are just flowing out, right? So anyways, let's tell you about my parents instead of telling you about my parenting as I'm doing right now. So my dad's name is Ezio Cimicata, a very typical Italian name, Ezio Cimicata, right? And he's a real estate agent. He's absolutely like one of the most phenomenal people that I know in this world, okay? So I wrote down a few points, and then I'm going to sort of bring in my own sort of on the spot opinion as well. So he's literally, and I mean literally, always been there for me, okay? So he's always put his family first. He's always put me, and I have an older sister and a younger sister. I have an older sister that's 8 years older than me, so she's significantly older than me, and I actually work with her. We're both teachers, and we teach together, and I have a younger sister that's also a teacher that's 2 years younger than me, but she teaches at a different school. So I have the pleasure of working with my older sister every day, which is really, really cool. But he literally has always put family first, okay? Above everything else, above his work, above his hobbies, above everything. It's always been family has been his number one priority. He's a real estate agent, and due to the nature of his job, a lot of his work was done sort of on nights and weekends when he was showing houses and people were, after their working hours and stuff like that. So he was always around during the days, meaning like during the summer months, he took care of me and my younger sister. My older sister was already much older, right? But during the summer months, he was with me and my younger sister all day, every day. And he would go to his real estate office. Not his, like he has an office within a brokerage. He has like an office space within a brokerage. And we would go there every day, and he'd take us there, and he'd do his work while we were around, which I'm like, how did you do it, Dad? Because it's hard for me to work when my kids are around. It's hard for me to work. And he just made it seem so easy, right? So he always looked after us, literally always looked after us. And I'm like literally the most supportive person that you can imagine. Like anything that you wanted to do, he would coach you through it. He would talk you through it. And he still does. I still tell him my accomplishments, and he still congratulates me and stuff like that. If I've had a big year when I've done something good, like earned a massive income, whatever the case is, like this past year, without going into too much detail, I texted him, hey Dad, this is what I did in terms of income wise. And he's like, phenomenal, great work, son, blah, blah, blah. He's super encouraging, super positive. And believe it or not, you're probably going to believe this, obviously, he's a do-it-yourselfer. So he's the one who taught me how to do everything. Because if you don't know, the whole reason my channel started was I was renovating my last house by myself. And essentially, he taught me the ropes for the basics of like hanging drywall, framing a wall, stuff like that, mudding the drywall, doing basic stuff, like doing all the do-it-yourself stuff like that, putting a subfloor down, blah, blah, blah. He taught me all the basics of that. And I went on to renovate my own house, basically by myself, because of what he taught me. He's a do-it-yourselfer. He literally built this phenomenal deck in our backyard, this phenomenal gazebo. We have an above-ground pool in my parents' backyard, and he basically built it himself. He got the framing, and he basically just built the pool himself. Like, it's ridiculous what he can do. He can literally, you put something in front of him, he'll figure it out. It's as simple as that. And literally, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you he's the nicest person that I know. Literally, there's not a single person in this world that's nicer than him. He's the nicest person that I know. Okay, he's what I aspire to be as a father. To be honest with you, I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna be able to not get emotional, but I am. And the best part is I'm filming this before work, so I'm gonna have to go into work shortly explaining why I'm crying. So yeah, he's what I aspire to be as a father. He's incredible. Oh, I don't think I've actually cried in a video before. Although I cry all the time. Okay, my mom. Bruna Cimicata, another just typical Italian name, Bruna Cimicata. She is also, I don't know how I got so lucky, the most supportive person in the world. Like literally, any crazy, oh God. Any crazy idea that I ever came up with, she she just, figured out ways to facilitate, me trying it. And it wasn't always about, like, oftentimes she would figure out a way to just like, if I wanted to do something and it costs a lot of money, and like, they didn't want to spend the money, obviously I don't blame them, they would figure out a way to allow me to do it for free, to test it out. And then if I liked it and if I went forward with it, we'd figure out a way to make it work. So she worked in sales at a lighting company. She basically did international sales. So she worked at basically one of, I don't know if it's the biggest lighting company in Toronto, but one of the biggest lighting companies in Toronto for my whole life. Like, she worked there like since before I was born. And she only retired a couple years ago as of the time of me filming this video. And she would sell lighting products industrially, basically, to, the States and stuff like that. One really, really cool story was she was dealing with someone that was somehow, that they had a PlayStation 2, like literally right when it was released, and it was super hard to get in Canada. So it was just released, and you just couldn't find them as far as I was a kid. So this is like to the best of my memory. And she was selling them lights, and they literally gave her a PlayStation 2. So I was like the first one out of like anybody that I knew to have a PlayStation 2, because my mom ended up getting it for me, and I'm a video game-aholic. I was, and I still am a video game-aholic. So yeah, it was really, really cool. She is unbelievably hardworking. If you're wondering how I get the drive, where I get the drive to put out this insane amount of content, despite the fact that I have 4 young kids, I'm super involved in their lives, and I have a full-time job as a full-time elementary school teacher, and I try and be a devoted husband as much as I possibly can, with as many hours in the day as I can, and I still put out a crazy amount of content myself. It's just me on this channel, no editor, nothing, just literally just me. Okay, I own the channel, I started it from scratch, and it's still just me. That's the reason why. My dad works hard, but my mom works like, she has a drive like no other. Like, literally, she was the first one awake and the last one to sleep every night. Now, I'm the same in my household. I'm the first one up. I sort of get the house up, and then I'm the last one to sleep. I make sure everything's safe before I go to sleep. We have, without going into too much detail, we have a pretty serious alarm system, a pretty serious camera system, just because I take my kids' protection very seriously. And I'm the one that makes sure everything's good before I go to bed. It's my job. She's unbelievably hardworking. And I have something else written down here. Oh, here we go. I'm trying to figure out what it is. So literally, she would do anything for her family. Like, you name it, she'd do it. Like, when I say anything, I mean literally, she would do anything for her kids, me and my sisters, or her grandkids. My parents have 11 grandkids at the time of filming this. My oldest sister's 4 kids. I have 4 kids. My younger sister's 3 kids. I think we're all done. So I think that's, even after the time of filming this, I think it's still going to be 11. But you never know. Who knows? And one of the things that I don't necessarily remember this because I was so young, but obviously it's had a massive influence on me, which is she, here we go again. She actually was home, like a stay-at-home mom until I was about 4, because she stayed home when I was born, obviously for maternity leave and however many months or whatever they got off at that time. I know it was a lot less than it is right now. But she stayed home, and then she was pregnant with my younger sister. So then she stayed home with my younger sister as well. So I had the benefit of having my mom home with me, basically having a mother daycare essentially, until I was about 4 years old. I think it was until I started school, give or take. And then she went back to work around that time. Yeah, so I mean, I really don't, I thought this video was going to be 3 minutes, and I thought I was going to be able to just get through it and tell you about my parents really quickly without crying, but obviously that didn't happen, but it's okay. I mean, like I said, although it doesn't seem like it in my typical videos where I'm screaming and stuff, I'm a very emotional person. I don't know. Like I said, sometimes it's part of me that's broken, and other times it's part of me that's fixed. I say, sometimes I'm crying because parts of me are broken. It is what it is. And then other times I'm crying because parts of me are repaired. So, I'd like to think that I'm crying out of pure happiness because parts of me are repaired, but you know what? I'm a psychology graduate, so I've learned that you truly never know. You can't over psychoanalyze yourself. You have to just sort of take it for face value, which is the fact that I'm crying, and that's it. So that's it. I wanted to film another video before work. I'm probably going to get a chance to do it. So if you see me with teary eyes in another video, then you know that I filmed that other one after this one. So anyways, that was it. Just let me tell you about my amazing parents. I wanted to just talk to you about them. Mom, dad. They don't watch my videos. I just, they're like in their like late 60s and 70s. So, I think my dad's like, they're cool. They watch YouTube, but like, I just put out so much content that they're not going to watch all my videos. But if you're watching this and by chance you're like a family friend of mine or whatever, or family or whatever, or you know me, send it to my parents. I'd like them to see without me sending it to them. I'd like them to see it. Or if you don't know them, you can still reach out to my dad on Instagram. He's got Instagram. It's literally at Ezio Chimicata, E-Z-I-O, Chimicata, C-I-M-I-C-A-T-A, all one word, at Ezio Chimicata. Send them this video. I'd love for them to see this without me sending it to them. But if not, it's totally fine. I mean, I'm in this video for everyone to see. So anyways, that's it. A 3-minute video. I'm sorry, it's almost 11 minutes, but it is what it is. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.